In terms of what's next for you, obviously you're considering the mayoral run for London in a few years. Also politically, there's been, like I saw even Elon Musk like supported or pledged his support to replace Nigel Farage for was it the Reform Party? Is that right?
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that? And I guess kind of, I have a book called Unfuck America.
I've seen it.
In terms of unfucking the UK, what would your approach be? What do you think of the Reform Party, Elon's comments, generally speaking, politically in the UK moving forward, and how you fit in, and just generally what's kind of next for you?
If there was a political party that I'm aligned with, it's Reform. Definitely need political reform in the UK. So hence the title. The clues in the title with Reform. That's where my alignment would be. However, for me, London Mayor, I don't like to use the word capturing our capital city, but London used to be the crown jewel of the UK, especially of Great Britain, especially of England. It set the example around that nation. You go in there, you'd experience British culture. You go in there, you'd know you was in England. You go in there, you would feel the pride, you'd feel the motivation, you'd feel the energy that fucking London gave you. None of that exists anymore. So for me, if I can do my part, there's a calling that I have to go back to the UK. And this time it's not to serve my country, it's to serve the people. Because I can hear them screaming. I can hear them loud and clear. When I mentioned before that, I've can function in the underworld and the overworld, in politics, and my ear is all over the place. If there's ever a people's person to breach politics and speak for the people, then I believe that I can do that. So the London Mayor position, I sort of voiced my discontent with Khan probably 2 years ago. And then the echo chamber of support for me to run for the next mayoral elections sort of sucked me in. And it's something that I'm seriously considering doing. And you talk about Elon Musk, through this whole process of me voicing my opinion on X and with the grooming gangs and Elon getting involved with that, and then Tommy Robinson, obviously exposing them. That whole make Britain great again, let's be honest, that the Trump effect or the Trump wave is very much needed in the UK. And if I can help secure, make London safe, my priority is to make London safe and secure. But also, there's multiple strings to my bow. I'm used to working with the economy. So, when it comes to the business acumen side of things as well, I believe that I've got, substantial experience now to not only come in and go, right, he's ex-special forces, he's an ex-soldier. Yes, he can secure and make London safe again. And the people, give people the safety, but he can also bring in his business acumen from what he's experienced, what I've experienced in America and with these companies, to really give the 360 approach of, well, what can you bring to the city? Well, there's a hell of a lot I can bring to the city, and having the support from the general public, the support is big. It helps with my brand as well. Elon is supportive. He follows me on X and has voiced a few things about myself running for mayor, which helps as well. And just having the backing again off of our American counterparts, which is so important, who are right now setting the example for the rest of the world, especially Western society, for their little brothers, let's call us the little brothers, to follow in suit and to adhere to what's happening in the US is a main goal for me. And I would say moving forward with sports.com, doing a lot of filming, along with campaigning. I would say probably 2 years out, 18 months out for the elections in May 2028. They're my main priorities. But the calling to run for Mayor of London is huge.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really big. And again, like I said, I've served my country before, from the outside in. Now it's time to serve it from the inside out.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the idea. I think it's exciting and fascinating, and I hope you do it, and I hope you get elected. And I just can imagine that this is the cart before the horse a little bit, but hypothetically, should you get elected or decide to run, get elected, et cetera, is an even higher level, a prime minister or something at that level, is that something that would appeal to you as well? Or is it more like, hey, let's just focus on this first and then see what happens?
I'm one of these, Mike. Once I'm in, I'm fully in. I'm 100%. If you look at everything that I've done, and you can vouch for this, and you're very much in a similar position. Military, put my heart and soul into it, got to the top. TV world, SAS, it's a household name in the UK, in Australia. I'm now going to be bringing it to the UAE. My books, straight to number one. It's sold millions of copies around the world. If I take this plunge into the political realm, i.e. Mayor of London, then I'm not just going to do a term or two. It's going to be a whole new career.
Yeah.
So if that does come off, then expect to see me around for the next 20 to 25 years in British politics.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. What haven't I asked you that I should have?
What haven't you asked me that you should have? Do you know what, mate? You've pretty much covered everything. I think, ultimately, I'm a family man.
Yeah.
That's when people say, how do you describe yourself? Everything that I do, I have the support of my family behind me, my wife and my children. And that allows me to do what I want to do. It takes a unique person like my wife to be behind me, to allow me to, go missing around the world for weeks on end. At least, like she says, at least I'm not getting shot at, and I'm not gone for 6 months at a time. Yeah. But to allow me to really, do what I do best, to be me, to be the best version of who I can be, to pass on to my children, to pass on to my wife. That is ultimately, what my driving force is, knowing that I've got that support element behind me within a family, but also within a team. Yeah. And I speak about, my new sort of direction in life outside of filming, and that is business. And before I fused the family with the military, now I'm going to fuse my family with business. And whether that's, running a city, whether that's running a company, whether that's getting to the top of the NASDAQ or the top of, of the political world in that business sort of aspect, then that's exactly where I'm headed and the direction that I'm going. But the one common denominator behind it all is my family. Yeah. And if I had to describe myself, it would be a family man.
Yeah, that's awesome.